Who is Superman? Is he a guy trying to bear the weight of the world on his shoulders? Is he a man trying to fit in with an extremely unaccepting society? Is he a man with extraordinary powers just trying to do the right thing? Well, the answer to all of those questions is simply yes. We all have those superheroes that we look up to the most. We all have them. It may be Hulk, Thor, Captain America, Batman, The Flash, or even Iron Man. For my entire life, my two favorite heroes have always been Spider-Man and, you guessed it, Superman. Now, I know plenty of people who can just easily dismiss Superman as being boring, uninteresting, or ridiculously powerful, and all of those things can be true about the character if he is put into a story that does not push his character development along and keep it moving forward. A character as powerful as Superman can quickly become boring and repetitive, and that can be a serious problem. So what happens to said character when his arc moves along and his character development is pushed forward? Well, you get Zack Snyder's Superman. Now, why do I appreciate Zack Snyder's Superman so much? Well, there are multiple reasons. First off, he's flawed. Christopher Reeve did an exceptional job playing Superman back in his 70s and 80s films. However, his take on Superman was incredibly outlandish, and I had a hard time relating to anything that the character went through whatsoever. And again, people can come at me and say, why do you prefer a character that's flawed as to a character that's perfect in every way? Why do you like seeing a character fall instead of seeing a character be perfect all the time? Well, because I can relate to a character that isn't perfect all the time. We all can. We can all find the humanity in Zack Snyder's Superman, even if he is this massive force to reckon with. At the end of the day, he's still a guy. He's a guy trying to find his place in the world, and yes, Christopher Reeve had that too, but right from the start, he was just perfect in every single way. He knew how to fight, he knew how to do everything. He never had any true struggles like Zack Snyder's Superman did. Now, I don't want anyone thinking that I'm just using the platform to hate on Christopher Reeve's Superman iteration. That's not what I'm doing at all. I'm just simply saying the reasons that I prefer Henry Cavill and Zack Snyder's direction and where they took the character. Even in this day and age, there are still people who insist on comparing and relating Zack Snyder to just big, heartless, emotionless blockbusters full of CGI with no story, no compelling characters whatsoever. People still think that, as crazy as that sounds. But if you were to actually sit down and watch Man of Steel and watch Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition, not a theatrical, the Ultimate Edition, if you were to sit down and watch those two back to back and actually try to like and enjoy and digest everything that you're seeing, I truly think that at the core of these films, there is a ton of heart, emotion, and fantastic character development with characters that you care about. The themes in these movies are not some Marvel MCU film or anything. It's not Suicide Squad. These are deep themes, and there's information in these films, and especially with Zack Snyder's Superman and Henry Cavill, that you have to pay attention and you have to try to figure things out for yourself. And that is one of the greatest reasons that I prefer the DCEU to the MCU. And while this movie does have some insane special effects and CGI and spectacular set pieces and action sequences throughout the film, it is not without its character moments whatsoever. I would go as far to say the character development and the smaller, more heartfelt character moments are what push this movie and what puts it in a league of its own. And like I said earlier, Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition and Man of Steel are not without their giant set pieces and special effects. But every time you have a scene like this, you also get a scene like this.
People are afraid of what they don't understand.
Is she right?
You see where I'm going with this? I mean, you can look at the action in this movie all day long because it does have insane action set pieces, and they're all fantastic and crafted wonderfully. But what this movie does so perfectly is the smaller, littler character moments between one another. And as ironic as this may sound, what makes Henry Cavill's portrayal of Superman so perfect is that he's not. He is not some perfect guy. He has flaws, and he's trying to better himself all the time, and that is what I think we can learn from this. Not discrediting any other iteration of the character whatsoever, but you see this Superman, this Clark Kent struggle to fit in. You see him struggle to find out who he is. You see him struggle in a multitude of things on several different levels. And I think all of us as human beings can relate to that. We as human beings can relate to getting knocked down and the hardships and the trials of getting back up again and finding the motivation to do things maybe that we didn't want to do. We can relate to feeling left out. We can relate to these feelings and these emotions that Superman is feeling. This guy who can lift the Empire State Building with his bare hands, the fact that we can relate in any spectrum, the fact that we can relate at all to him is saying something. And as this film illustrates it beautifully, when you're feeling down or when you're just not feeling yourself, when something happens, when everything seems bleak, everything seems to be going wrong, just remember to keep holding on to hope.